Hey guys, welcome back to Not Yet Christian. Guess who's here?
Hello, everyone.
Shanie's back. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Even though I'm going to throw you under the bus.
You know what? It wouldn't be the first time.
I love it. I love it. This is what sisters in Christ look like. Abusive.
Right.
Backstabbing. All the things.
Right. But, keeping us accountable, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Whatever accountability means for you.
Yeah.
Keeping you accountable.
So you've heard a couple excuses that we threw away over the last couple of episodes of reasons to not have your butt in the building. And the first excuse is, I don't need to be in a building. I don't need to go to church to have a relationship with Jesus. And you probably noticed Shanie in that episode, which you haven't seen it yet, so you're in that episode. And the second excuse was Walt talking about the church is full of hypocrites. So we've talked about that. No more excuses. I failed to mention what inspired this butt in the building thing. It's always been on my mind, butt in the building. But if you remember, I had a friend, Sissy, who inspired the Butt in the Bible series. And while I have another friend who inspired the Butt in the Building series because of an excuse, just like Sissy. And again, I don't want to say her name, just, in case she's watching. Let's just say it rhymes with rainy. So, Rainy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your text to me that you don't have time. Welcome to Not Yet Christian. I'm your host, Jenny D. Whether you're curious about Jesus, new to faith, a cautious Christian, or questioning religion altogether, come on in and let's shift your baggage to a backstory with purpose.
So, if you remember the last time that you had me in front of this camera, I was so fired up about finding a church.
Yes.
And how it checked all my boxes and, because, I have standards and all that, of course, and loved it and craved it and couldn't wait to get in there. And then, oh my gosh, the stumbling blocks that I put in front of myself. Nobody else. Summer. I've been sick. Excuse after excuse after excuse. But the amount of times, though, that, first of all, when I was searching for a church, trying to find a church, trying to Google a church.
I remember.
One of the things I really wanted was a church that was open Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. Because I know that I struggle getting out of bed.
You like double duty, too.
Sunday mornings. And I needed that little extra. I do. I want to be there when the church is open. The amount of times in the last 2 months where it has been 7:30 on a Wednesday night and Wednesday night service starts at 7 and I was like, oh, I could have went to church today.
Yeah.
It went from being a priority, something that I craved, to a missed time or two here, and then I have forgotten that I go to church again.
Isn't that crazy where you've got it all together? You're on fire for Jesus. You're doing all the right things. And I can't believe we all fail. Can you believe that we all fall down? Mm-hmm. Christians are perfect, right?
Yeah.
And so I get it. I've been there.
And then you start thinking, oh, geez, I met all these people at this brand new church, and I was hot and on fire. And what are they going to say when I show back up again?
Shame.
Yeah, yeah, all the things. I fell off the wagon.
Oh, Rainy. Well, I wouldn't be throwing you under the bus if you weren't showing up with a redemption story. You always do. You're the best bouncer backer person I know, and it's such an inspiration. And so you stopped going to church. You didn't have time. Now what?
Now, you know what it is I'm learning that everything in my life really is scheduled. And my work schedule is scheduled. Time to meet with my granddaughters is scheduled.
Especially, right?
I want to respect their home, their privacy. I don't just pop in. I'm not a popper in.
Yeah, don't do that.
Except for my mom's. So I schedule it. So this too
Yeah.
is on the calendar. This too, I get notifications. Hey, you're supposed to be in church in a half an hour.
Yep.
This is what it's going to take.
Right. And we talked about that in the first episode. We mentioned make it a priority.
Right.
Right. Always just make it a priority, and you'll be surprised how much time you have when you're using the I don't have time excuse, because you have to get up and look kind of pretty, I guess.
Right.
I never do, but most people would not look like how
Right.
I look going to church. And then there's a drive and all the stuff. And it's a 4 or 5 hour deal sometimes by the time you're done having your conversations and sipping your coffee. But I don't know about you, but I can do anything. I am on top of the world. I have no fear. I don't have shame. Like what it does to me in the bill. I don't care if Mike and I go out of town all the time. We find a church.
Yeah.
I went to church once and they didn't even speak English. But when I come out of that building, it's just a nice refresher, completely different than watching online.
It really is.
And so if anything, we talked about hypocrites last week. Sometimes the experience isn't perfect, but I just feel completely different in the relationships that I have there. Just getting my butt in the building.
In the business world, it's almost like those Zoom calls versus the in-personal.
Right.
Sure, I have the ability to cut the drive time when I do a Zoom call.
Yep, for sure.
And sometimes, as much as I like to talk, the chatter, like, let's just do business.
Right.
But there is so much more organic happening in those business meetings that are impersonal, and you're learning so much more about how to solve the problem when you can actually meet face to face and you have some time to think through the processes. The same thing happens when I walk in the building versus trying to watch an online version.
Right.
I get distracted, let alone if I'm trying to watch an online
ADHD.
church version on my phone and I'm getting text messages and all kinds of squirrels happening. But beyond just being not distracted and hearing the message, it's the other things.
Yep.
It's the people that take their time to greet you. It's the coffee that we're sharing.
It's the, how's that grandbaby doing?
Yes.
Right? That kind of thing. I have to squirrel. Did you download the IM320 app yet? Get your butt in the Bible. We already went through that. Get your butt in the building. We have a new piece of functionality I'm super excited about. And so what you do, open up the app. There's a button called Church Locator. You click that button and you can either go through the list of churches or you hit map view. And when you hit map view, there's no reason why you can't look at all those black dots. Those are churches. So don't forget, download the app, use the church locator, get your butt in the building. So you're back to church is what I think I'm hearing.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, Cheney, what we've been doing is using a Bible verse to squash, trump, throw away, eliminate the excuses we use for not being in the building. And just like you, I've used all of them. And quite honestly, I almost use I don't have time. Last Sunday when I was fishing in North Dakota with my cousin, Johnny Candle, he's a professional angler. He's pretty awesome. I almost didn't go to church. And I'm so glad I did. One, I love going to different churches just to see things, see how people do things. But two, again, I made the time. It was probably end to end, less than 2 hours. And we met some people, I felt like $1 million. It's my reset, my restart. It's not how you get to heaven.
Right.
It's not legalism.
Correct.
It's not checking a box. It's just all about being in that building and Jesus showing up.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about this Bible verse to eliminate, I don't have time. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be given to you as well. That's Matthew 6:33. And guess what? We just showed a clip of you and I talking about this Bible verse when we did the Cheney episode a couple episodes ago.
Right.
So, it applies to getting your butt in the building. Well, how? Seek first his kingdom. What does that even mean? Life feels busy. Work, family, responsibilities. Relate?
A little bit.
Little bit. But Jesus reminds us that when we prioritize God's kingdom, everything else falls into place. That reset. Church isn't one more thing to squeeze in. It's the anchor that helps you order everything else. Church should be the first thing you put on your schedule, and everything else works around that church experience. Just like in getting your butt in the Bible. You schedule that 5 minutes, the rest of your schedule is your schedule. So this is all about prioritization. So, Cheney, you went through and justifiably so. You've got weddings, you've got grandbabies.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not going to make church a priority today. It's doing that for 6 months. It's doing that for 3 months.
Right.
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 I want not yet Christians to understand that when we fall, you just get back up. So what was the time in between your fire for church, not missing at least one day a week? What was the time that you got back in the building?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Is that the end of the world?
No.
You're going to hell?
No.
No.
Not at all.
You catch on fire when you go back in?
No. Okay. No, actually, no. Did anybody even really even mention it?
Did anybody notice?
No, not really.
Exactly.
You know what? Because we all have our own schedules, lives, vacations, things get in the way.
Right.
But we all need that day of rest. And that day of rest is to be the Lord's day.
Yeah.
And it can be literally any day of the week. I have pastor friends who their day of rest is Friday. They do not work on Fridays. We all need it. We all need a recharge.
Yep.
And again, and that is why I selected a place where I had multiple options.
Right.
Because not everybody is a Sunday morning person.
Right.
Some people are a Saturday night.
Exactly. Let's learn more about this verse. So to set the context, in the Sermon on the Mount, so Jesus is teaching all kinds of things. This particular piece is all about worry and prioritization. People were anxious about food, clothing, and daily needs. He reassured them that God provides when we seek him first. Matthew, of course, we talk about Matthew all the time. He's kind of my favorite because he was broken like me. But Matthew wrote this and really focusing on Jesus' teaching. This was Jewish believers, so they were also on fire, converted to Christianity, and learning how to live under the reign of God's kingdom, learning how to live. And the purpose to call disciples to reorient their lives so God's rule comes before everything else. So when we say we don't have time, every now and again, absolutely don't have time. Every now and again, we don't read the daily Bible verse. Every now and again, we miss church.
Right.
Don't let it snowball. Make it a priority. Snap back. This is Queen Snapback. I'm so proud of how you feel condemnation, which is, that's what you're supposed to. And instead of just falling down and staying down, you go through a process of putting Jesus first again. And this is the model. The perfect Christian that doesn't miss a day of church, that sits and judges everybody in church that misses, that's not the model. This is the model. We all fall down. We're going to fall down. I can kind of guarantee failure.
Absolutely.
We're going to fail.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some application steps. Reframe priorities. Schedule church first, then fit the other activities around it. And that's exactly what you're doing. Not just with church, with your family, with work.
And some of it is removing the worry. Oh, if I go to church, then I now I got to reschedule something else and make the time for this. And I got laundry and I haven't had a chance to get to all the things.
Yes.
Let the worry go. I keep saying to myself too, I have to remind myself, don't borrow problems that you do not have. Yeah. Stop worrying about the little things.
I love that, reaching for problems. Right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Trust God's order. So reframe priorities, trust God's order. Believe that when you give him your time, he multiplies it. I don't know if this is biblically defensive, but this is how I feel about things. I feel that when I'm obedient, I get rewarded. And I want to be very careful saying that, because that sounds like if you check boxes, you get things, and that's not what Jesus is about. And I don't want to say that's biblically defensive, although there's some Bible verses in there that say come to him first. And But I do know that when I prioritize Jesus, which is getting my butt in the Bible and going to church, I think because he takes all the other things away, that's the reward, and I feel less stressed, right?
You cannot outgive God. And that means your time. Whatever time I give him, he's going to give it back to me tenfold.
Yep.
And you can biblically defend that.
Right.
You cannot outgive God.
That's so true. All right, reframe your priorities. Trust God's order. Start small. Even if your week feels maxed out, step out in faith and commit to showing up. That doesn't mean commit to the next 52 weeks. All right, conclusion. Busyness will always fight for first place, but Jesus calls us to make God's kingdom the priority. When we seek him first, our time, energy, and needs come into alignment under his care. And that's exactly the reset. Everything aligns when you're going to God first. 3 takeaways. Church isn't one more task. It's the foundation of everything else.
Right.
Seeking God first brings peace to life's busyness. Somehow, when you add this one more thing to your calendar, you feel less busy. Right. That's supernatural. That's how God works.
That's good.
Trust God to redeem your time when you give him your sermon day. Again, doesn't have to be Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday, Tuesday. I have real life proof, hot off the press, of someone reprioritizing church.
Right.
And not ashamed to say, I failed. Not ashamed to say, oh man, I made some poor choices. Not ashamed to say, sometimes my grandbaby's more important than going to church. But at the end of the day, your butt's back in the building.
Right.
That's all I'm asking. Well, we got rid of 3 excuses now. Get your butt in the building. I am so glad you stopped by. If you felt encouraged today, we have more to offer. Not Yet Christian is just one of the resources provided by Immeasurably More 320, a nonprofit ministry. For additional resources, please visit immeasurablymore320.com and swing by our store at whereyourjesus.com. Join us again next week for another episode of Not Yet Christian. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.